All right. Welcome in, boys. We are live. Take it to the bank, Chicago. I'm Keg. With me, as always, my NASCAR partner in crime, Coop. Coop, my guy, my fine friend, my compadre, my main man. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. It's a weird week, with the 4th of July falling in the middle. Your days get all messed up and everything until we get to Monday. So, just weird. Uh, but other
Plus,
than that,
nothing going on, man.
not much.
WNBA, Wimbledon, no UFC, no PFL. Football's a month away. I'm struggling right now. I am struggling.
Well, just don't be, going too crazy.
Yeah, I know. I burned a unit. How does that kid shoot a 59 yesterday and can't shoot 3 under today, Coop? I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
It is, the game of golf, man.
Just brutal.
Brutal. Same with Mag McNally, man. I don't know. He might have shot the second worst score on the golf course today.
He's got to be. He's probably one of the better players in the tournament, right?
Matt McNally, yeah, he was. But I mean, these are really C and D players.
Right. Exactly. So, but Mav's like a C guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, they're good golfers. That's the thing with golf, man. Like, all these players are really, really good on any given day. And, look at what Springer did, yesterday. So, they're just very good. There's not much on a daily basis that separates the skill level of golfers at that level. It's just over a period of time is what really separates them.
I've been making money this week though on the Dolo. I've been tailing signed in Wimbledon. Every night I'm like, all right, what do you like for tomorrow? And he's been getting me home. So
good.
But all right, Coop. Let's talk about this fucking nightmare that was Nashville. Now, some little kid on Twitter is breaking my balls over Austin Cindric, and it's like, first of all, shut your mouth. That's number one. Number two, I was on him at 65 to 1 when he won the race, so shut your mouth again. Number three, come on, bro. I mean, Coop, it's a $20,000 swing, bro. I mean, it's the difference between making $13,000 and dropping $6K. I mean, Denny wins that race easily. First of all, Chris Bell led half the races. I'm on him at 26 to 1. You're on him, I think, at a fucking crazy number from a parlay, among other guys. He was the only guy that I was on at a really big price. But I mean, we had that race pegged dead to rights, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, at one point, I'm sitting on a 65 to 1 parlay for top manufacturer. Chastain's out there. Denny's up there. Josh Berry's doing his thing. I'm like, let's have a fucking day. And then, I mean, come on, Coop. Every time these cautions happen right outside the fuel window, I just know it's going to inevitably lead to a situation where we end up getting fucked somehow. Because it's happened more than a couple times this year. First of all, overtime is not our friend, Coop. It's never our friend. Literally, almost never. But yeah, I mean, Denny should have won that race. Marty could have won that race. Larson could have won that race. Chris Bell could have won that race. And then at the end of the day, Tyler Reddick still gives us a sweat at 16 to 1. And finishes second. Joey Logano had absolutely no business winning that race. He wasn't a top 20 car in that race. And he gets it done. We get crushed. I mean, listen, you had a great month. You won like 50 units in June. I won like 25, I think. But, I mean, I was up 40 going into that last weekend in June. It was fucking brutal. So what was your thoughts on Nashville, Coop?
I mean, betting is a vicious drug. That's what it is.
It's a
And
what?
it's a vicious drug.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's very difficult. I mean, I look at the day. I have 10 golfers to get through the cut. I
Right.
need, all of them, basically. And Mad McNeely, -4 yesterday, solid round. One of the better players in this tournament. Made
Yep.
several cuts in a row, done well here historically. Shits the bed today.
Yep.
And, if he gets through, I'm looking potentially at 60 to 80 units this weekend.
Yep.
But, that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. And, we just got to put it all back together and move forward and see what we can come up with this weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
it's beautiful. It's, the highs are high and the lows are low. And,
it's always
you got
on
to
the
find a balance.
It's how many times has it happened to us on the last lap it could possibly happen to us? It was, I mean, Denny was 10 seconds away probably from winning that race.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only positive outlook for it is, we put ourselves in a position to do well, and that's all we can do. Because ultimately it's not in our hands.
Yeah, you're right, Coop. Coop, you're very level-headed tonight. I don't like it.
But,
I don't like it.
I guess, I guess this is my question. Would you rather be in the situation we were in, or would you rather be in a situation where we don't have any of them driving? Yeah,
I'm holding a Joey Logano ticket.
We're not holding anything.
Yeah, I guess it does not make me feel any better, though. I guess.
I mean, it should make you feel better because, I mean, we continue to do the right plays and get the right players there. Unfortunately, they just can't finish the job.
Yeah. And now I'll tell you, I hate this race, Coop. I hate this race. First of all, they're in Chicago, right? All right, forget about Nashville. It is what it is. We lost. We still had a great month. We've had a good 2 months. Hopefully we can keep it going. But this race, first of all, we've had 2 road courses this year. A different top 5 has finished in each of those races at Coda. And where was the other one? Watkins Glen or Sonoma? Sonoma, right. So 5 different guys running the top 5 in each race. And then number 2, last year's race was a total shit show. It was a throwaway. It was the rain. I mean, that last year's race was just absolutely nothing. Now, I pulled the practice data from last year's race just to see where we were at. But, I mean, I don't even know what that's going to really tell us. Really. I mean, yeah, I don't feel great about it. What's your overall thoughts going into this week?
I mean, I told you earlier, I think there's 13 drivers on the top of the list who could potentially win this. Who I would say are the A and B drivers. And, I went with 5 of them. And, I went with those 5 because of, their road course, pedigree, kind of / their getting to run in the Xfinity race, which gives them more laps. Even though the cars are different, it'll help them, get through the track hopefully a little bit better. Their speed, their results this year. But, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the drivers that I didn't pick win. I mean, I don't know. The road courses help in a sense that we can, have a better idea of who to target but those numbers get suppressed because the books know that too. And I actually was kind of happy with the numbers that they sent out this week. I thought they could have been a little bit worse, considering, but I don't know. It's a crapshoot. You're exactly right. We really can't use anything from last year to gauge this race. So we're going into it basically like it's a new race, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There are so many guys that doesn't it feel like go back 5 years, maybe 6 years. There were like 5 guys that were live on a road course. It was Larson and Elliott, or it was KB or Marty, really, right? I mean, like, who else was, or Allmendinger, right?
Yeah.
Who was always live. And now it's Reddick, it's Gibbs. It's you can't count Chastain out. He's looked good on some of these road courses. It's Elliott, it's Allmendinger, it's Bell. It's Marty occasionally. It's Busher, it's McDowell. You can't count out Suarez sometimes. It's SVG, even though he's in a call car now, and he's not in a track house with. There are so many guys now that, and Will Byron, another guy you can't count out. There, it seems like half the field is live, or a third of the field.
Like,
literally,
it's just a different time, different era. I mean, like there were only 2 road courses back then, so there wasn't as much emphasis on it. For one thing, they didn't have, the the shit. I can't think of the word of it right now. God damn it. Where they sit in there and they drive in the machine, the
sim
or whatever. The sim, yeah. They didn't have sims back then,
right?
So, but then also like Bell, Reddick, Suarez, Chastain, like none of them were even racing back then. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're there now. So it's good for NASCAR. I mean, think of it like, in today's world, if you had what you had 6 years ago, what would the numbers be on those 4 drivers that were really good at road courses?
They would all be plus 150 or 2-1.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it's a little give take, whatever. But I mean, now they have what 4, 5, 6, road courses, and you gotta, emphasize it. You got to get in that sim, and you got to be better at it than what you used to. It's a lot more important now.
From a manufacturer perspective, how would you rank it this week? I assume Chevy and Toyota somehow 1, 2, and then Ford 3.
Yeah, I mean, Chevy has a lot more depth. They have a lot more drivers who I think can win the race. So you got to put them number 1.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I mean, I think when I think of like the top 4 guys in my head this week, which is very hard to even come up with a top 4, honestly. But like when I think about it, 2 of them would be Chevys and 2 of them would be Toyotas probably. So, I mean, but I'm with you. I think the depth when it comes to Chevy, Chastain, Suarez, all 4 Hendrick cars could show up. So yeah, I get it.
You can't even rule out your buddy in the Chevy this week.
Who, KB?
Yeah.
This has been his best format probably.
Yeah.
Since he's been an RCR, for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I would never back him to win the race because I think he's fucking doomed. But I think he could top 5 or top 10 for sure this week. All right, so let me just pull up odds. Let's look at Bet365. All right, so they have your odds-on favorite is SVG. Now I watched obviously friend of the show Ryan over at Win the Race does that podcast with the boys. I was watching that and Ryan was talking about that magical Trackhouse chassis that's been absolute speed demon on road courses that SVG was in last year, which kind of makes him think that Chastain could be interesting this week. Which I was like, that's, I guess I get it. But the big thing is SVG last year. He won this race. I think we bet him and I think we cashed at like 30-1.
No,
but
missed it.
did we not cash on him at all at any number?
Nothing.
So we were sitting on Haley at 300-1 and didn't bet SVG.
No, he was in like 16th place.
I have to go back. I have to check. Thank God for our spreadsheet. I have to check our spreadsheet to make sure. But anyway, he won the race. He probably shouldn't have won the race, to be fair. And he was in a completely, I mean, he was driving a Trackhouse car. Now he's driving for Colleague. But he's
driving
probably
a Trackhouse car.
I thought he was driving a Colleague car.
It's a colored car, but it's everything. It's being built in a Trackhouse shop.
Oh, so maybe he's got that same chassis then.
You might.
He deserves. I think he should be the favorite. Or in this age where they're going to price 5 people at basically the fucking same odds, he probably should be one of the favorites. I mean, I get
in the top 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. After him, I think you have to be on him. I think it's hard if you're betting this race. I think it's hard to not be on him. Although I have my concerns, Coop, about like passing on this track, which I guess we'll talk about eventually. Like I just worry, is track position going to be that important? Where if you shit the bed in qualifying, are you drawing dead, or are you in a really bad spot? Like I still have my doubts that guys are just going to be able to auto pass on this course. But yeah, I think you have to take him seriously, and I think you have to probably bet him if you're going to bet this race. After him, Tyler Reddick, 5.5-1, tied with him again. I think that these two guys would be 2 of the 4. That would be my 4 favorite. As a matter of fact, the first 4 at Bet365 would probably be my 4 favorite. So yeah, I mean, I get the price on Tyler Reddick. He's earned it. And I think if you're going to be on him, I mean, if you're going to bet this race, it's tough not to be on him. You agree?
100%. Tyler Reddick's been, fast at most of the road course races. He's just had some issues at Sonoma and Watkins Glen, but minus those 2, he's been, very good here in the road courses. So tough to leave him off your card.
Yeah, I agree totally. After him, Kyle Larson. I think the same could be said for him. It's tough to leave him off your card because don't get me wrong, he shit the bed at Coda, at least in terms of speed. But like he was the fastest car on the track at Sonoma. And I don't know what we can take from practice and qualifying from last year, but he was fast in practice and qualifying last year. He had the 3rd fastest 5-lap average last year. In terms of raw speed, he was top 5. So like, yeah, I think he's one of the 4 guys. If you're only going to bet a couple guys that you have to be on this week. Where are you at on him?
He would be my 4th guy. I think, if you have qualms about SVG, you should probably have qualms about Larson too, because minus Sonoma, he hasn't been very good on the road courses from a speed perspective. So he's always been really good at Sonoma. But, it's Kyle Larson, and you got to give him respect. And the number, I think, is more than fair based upon, what he's done the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
It's tough to fade him.
I'm with you. And then the fourth guy who is probably the hottest driver right now in the sport, and probably has the best car on the track right now, week in and week out, Chris Bell. It is literally fucking impossible to fade that kid right now. And he was very good here last year, if you look at the speed. So I think that I think it's literally impossible to not be on Chris Bell this week. That's where I'm at on Chris Bell. Where are you at?
No, he's been very good speed-wise in this package. And to everything you said, he was one of the best cars here last year. Doesn't mean it's going to be the same this year. Don't know.
Right.
We'll have to wait and hope and see. But I don't know. Like, I bet those 4 drivers, hoping to get the numbers up on them. I did a little bit, not much. But, I'd be hard to be surprised if 2 of the 4 are not there at the end.
I agree. I there would have to be some serious fuckery for a couple of those guys to not be there, I think, at the end. But, I mean, when has that ever happened in NASCAR? And by when, I mean twice a month. So, I mean, it could easily happen. It could easily happen. The fuckery could be large and loud, and none of them are there. I mean, we had 4 guys running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps to go in the race, and none of them were there at the end. So, I mean, yeah. All right. After him, I think this is where it starts to open up a little bit. Chase Elliott, 7.5 to 1. I think that price is a little short. I know Chase has looked good in this short track package. And I know he's been better this year. And I know how good of a road course guy he is. But I still think when you compare him to those 4 guys, you just can't sell me on the fact that the difference between him and Chris Bell should be $1.50. Like, I just don't think that's reality. So could he win? He could win, but the price is short, and probably more than a couple dollars short. Like, I think he should probably be 10 to 1, not 7 to 1. But yeah, where are you at on Elliott?
I mean, if he's 10 to 1, what should, some of these other drivers be?
More. I mean, like, I think the price is probably fair on Dinger at 12. I think the price is probably fair on Buescher at 14 and Byron at 14, and McDowell should probably be 16, maybe somewhere around. Like, I think that the number's fair. I just think, like, for everybody except maybe Marty and Chase Elliott up there in that top, like, even Ty Gibbs, you could have got him at a much better price earlier in the week if you wanted to back him, I think. But even him, I could live with that number getting bet down to there, because he's been good. You can make the case that he's the 3rd best Toyota by a mile in this short track package, right? So, like, I get the price there. Yeah, I don't know. Elliott just feels a little low to me. He just feels a little low. I think he should be like 10.
Well, I mean, I could see Elliott finishing anywhere between first and 13. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm with you.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, you know, I think he qualified 26th in this race last year. So, didn't do great.
That ain't going to cut it.
Although he was there at the end, but I mean, you know, he was probably there at the end because of, you know, the field being flipped.
All right. After Elliott, Marty is 12-1. Again, if I'm ranking the Toyotas this week, I think like Reddick and Bell are 1A and B. Gibbs is probably 2, and then everybody else. I guess I would probably put Marty ahead of Bubba and Denny. But yeah, I'm not running to the window to bet Marty. Where are you out on Marty?
No, I'm not running to the window to bet him. You know, again, I think he could have a 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place car. I'd be surprised if he contends for this. I would rank a couple other Toyotas in front of him that you didn't mention.
That I didn't mention?
Yeah.
Like who? Nemechek?
No, Denny Hamlin. I'd put Denny Hamlin in front of.
Oh, you would put Denny ahead of Marty?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what? Based on how he looked in practice and qualifying at this track last year?
I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Denny Hamlin goes out and wins the pole. He won it last year.
That's what. Yeah, I mean he did, but 10 laps later he was a fucking lost cause. You know what I mean?
Right, because of the rain.
Coop, but like how many, with the exception of him, and to be fair, he was the fastest in practice also. And to be fair, he's like 33-1, right? Mm-hmm. And he had the fastest 5 lap, and he had the fastest 10 lap, which in my mind, this is a Yago bet, right? This is what I call a Yago bet in NASCAR. He was on the pole last year. He was the fastest in practice last year. He's 33-1. And he could very well be on the pole this year. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. When has he not shit the bed on a road course in the last 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, you know, things change. Maybe he's got it all together. Maybe it's impossible to pass.
Change?
Maybe it's impossible to pass.
Well, that's fair. Now that I have my concerns. I'm with you. But man, it's so hard to push the button, Coop, even though it's 33.
But I would bet Denny Hamlin before I bet Martin Truex.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if Denny Hamlin does better than Martin Truex.
I guess I get that based on the number for sure. But yeah, this is a guy I could see Yeg being on for sure on Sunday. And like, I guess, man, what if he does show up and he's actually good the whole race?
Yeah, I mean,
but it hasn't happened yet, really.
He went to Reddick. He went to Reddick last year and said, "Hey, give me the secret sauce that you're running." And he gave him the secret sauce, and he went out and he did really good at Sonoma until he had an accident. And then, you know, he did really good here until it started raining.
Where was he running? What did he do this year on road courses?
Not much. Toyota in general has not been good on road courses this year.
12th fastest at Coda, 27 at Sonoma. What's up, DB? My guy. How are you, buddy? Hope all's well. And DB, what the hell was going on in South Padre Island in Texas or South Padre Beach? 4 people lost their leg. I mean, Jesus Christ. Get out of the water.
Getting hit by a hurricane now.
It's like Jaws. All right. After Marty, Allmendinger, 14-1 or 12-1. Yeah, I mean, AJ's one of those guys that could win He's always live on a road course. If the equipment's there, he's live for sure. But I don't know. He's been very good. I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he's had like winning speed, but he's basically had top 5 or close to top 5 speed at both tracks this year. So yeah, I mean, he could be a factor. He could win this race, no doubt. Where you at on AJ?
I worry more about AJ than I do SVG from a car perspective, because I 100% know it's going to be a Kala car.
Even though he's had the speed, like he's looked very good on road courses this year so far.
I don't think he can contend for the win. I think he can contend for a top 5.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's proven so far this year. He doesn't have quite winning speed, but he can contend for that last spot in the top 5, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. But like, you know, he could easily be there to pick up the pieces. You never know.
He could.
After
but
him,
I think that's how he has to win.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think he's going to have probably winning speed. After him, Ty Gibbs. I think it was 20-1 earlier in the week. You could probably get a better number than 12.
I mean, think of it like this. All right. You were saying that Chase Elliott's number is bad.
Yeah.
All right. At 7.5. You don't think Allmendinger's number at 12-1 is bad?
No.
So
because like the speed's there. It's not like it's not there. He was 5th fastest at Coda, like 7th fastest at Sonoma. Like, it's not like the speed's not there, and we know how good of a road course guy he is. I mean, how much better do you want that number to get? It's Dinger.
I think it needs to be 20.
20, Coop?
Think of it, all right? You can get him at 7-1 in the Xfinity race. 7-1 in the Xfinity race. You're going to pay 12-1 for him when there's twice, if not 3 times as much competition in the Cup race than what there is the Xfinity race.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that the 12-1 number is wrong. It could mean that the 7-1 number is wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
I lean more towards. I understand what you're saying, but I lean more towards the 12-1 wrong.
Okay.
Because think of it, like the races that he's won, like he won the Indy Road Course. He won that because there was all kinds of cautions. He backed into it. He wasn't the best car by any means.
True.
Like when has he gone out and when has he been the best car in Cup?
Almost
rewind 6, 7, 8 years ago when there was only 4 drivers.
Right. And even in this next gen car, he's been very good, but he's picking up the pieces when he wins for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I just have a lot of respect for him in this format. So, but like I understand what you're saying, like because now Gibbs was 20-1 earlier in the week, and I'm sure you can get a better number than 12. But like he's had race winning speed on like he had race winning speed at Coda probably.
Mm-hmm. He's had race winning speed for probably 3 or 4 of the last 5 races. I mean, at the end of last year on the road courses, he really picked it up.
Yeah. So like I would probably rather back a Gibbs car at 14 or 16 than back that call it car at 12. Like I
When I
think,
bet, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say when I bet him, he was 20 at FanDuel.
Yeah, that number feels very fair. Although we're talking about a kid that's never won a race on the cup level, which still irks me that like he's as low as 12-1 right now. But I mean, I'd rather back a Gibbs car at 16 or 20 for sure than back
Did you,
Dinger.
did you get any of the Xfinity number I got on him?
I didn't bet anything in Xfinity yet.
Oh.
It's so hard, Coop, to stop betting that series when like it's the reason why I haven't had to work in a long time. It's hard to come to terms like with the fact that I can't beat that series. Like I still have my doubt.
I got him at 12, so hopefully that'll work.
Anyway, but Ty Gibbs, I think of after those four guys, I think that him and a couple Fords, I think I like the most after Larson, Reddick, Bell, and SVG. I think him and a couple Fords, I think I like Busher, like McDowell. But yeah, I would put Gibbs right outside, like right around outside that top four, somewhere around there. After him, Busher 14-1 and Byron 14-1 and McDowell 14-1. I think of all three of these guys, Chris Busher probably does the best. My gut says.
What do you mean by the best?
Of Byron, Busher, and McDowell, I think that Busher probably finishes. I think he's probably faster than McDowell and Byron. My gut says. Now McDowell might qualify better than him because he tends to, but I still think that Busher probably is going to be faster than Byron and McDowell, and they're all at the same number. That's what my gut said. Busher's been very good lately, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's been good. I don't know if he's got a race-winning car. He's back to doing what he did last year, where, you know, he was finishing in the top 15 consistently. Let me throw a little tidbit at you.
Go ahead.
All right. This is just me thinking out loud.
McDowell was the second fastest guy at Sonoma, by the way.
All right. Ryan Blaney's in the playoffs. Joey Logano's in the playoffs. Austin Cindric's in the playoffs.
Right.
At the beginning of the year, what was all the talk about Michael McDowell?
I don't remember. You would have to refresh my memory.
He was getting top level treatment from Ford, right?
Okay.
Like that team was like right up there with Penske as far as getting, you know, all the information, so on and so forth.
Okay.
All those guys are in the playoffs now. What if they all put it? Well, you know, you just read me a story last week where they were going to put all this stuff on the Joey Logano.
True.
And to be quite honest with you, that wasn't very impressive what they put into it.
No.
All right.
Me either.
All right. But what if they say, all right, let's turn our attention to Mikey now to get him in the playoffs?
I mean, doesn't it feel to you like his only chance is to win because he's just not good on an oval, right? And like he's got to win one of these road courses.
I mean, he could win Daytona too.
True. He could win Daytona. That's fair.
So I think I look for McDowell to finish better than Busher.
Do you think only because of a sense of urgency, or do you think he's
Well,
just faster?
Busher hasn't been very good on road courses recently. Look
He's
at his
been
speed.
basically like 11 and 12 the last two.
Yeah, he's not putting out the speed that he was last year. Whereas
Not
Michael McDowell continues to put out the speed that he did last year. So
I'm
I lean
assuming
McDowell.
that he had an accident at Coda. I mean, it's showing him 36th fastest at Coda and second fastest at Sonoma.
Yeah, at Coda he did at the beginning. He had some issues, but I think he qualified at the top at Coda, didn't he?
I could check, but he's qualified very well in this package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that he's probably gonna qualify well.
You know, we'll have to get back to Mikey McDowell later on.
Yeah.
But Byron, I don't know what to think of Byron. Byron's been just as bad as Kyle Busch has recently.
Byron's been just as bad as Byron has been MIA for sure lately. That's for sure.
And he didn't run really well here last year either. I don't know what his qualifying and practice speeds were, but
McDowell started 12th at Sonoma and finished second. And he started 27th at Coda and finished 38th.
Not good. We won't be talking about McDowell later.
Oh, for the poll?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. After Willie B. Yeah, I don't know. Willie B had that run on road courses where he was really, really fast, but it kind of just went away. His speed in general this year has kind of just gone away. He's nowhere near as fast as he was last year. And he needs one more win, I think. Oh, no, he cashed it for us already. He already got over 2.5 wins. Scratch that. Chastain 28-1, Suarez 28-1. I don't know, Coop. What do you think? Like, they're both, if they have it, they're both capable of making some noise at 28-1.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Chastain had top 5 speed at both road courses this year. And
if Mag McNally would have made it, I would have already hit Chastain and Suarez. But he didn't. So
yeah, I mean, Ross has been pretty fast on road courses this year. Suarez, again, not as good as last year, as good as he was on road courses last year. He was way faster.
Yeah. I think other teams have caught up to Trackhouse.
Do you know that he doesn't have a top 3 finish this year?
No, he has a bunch of solid finishes, like 8 to 12, something like that. But
I heard somebody say that this week. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm backing somebody at 28-1, it's Chastain. It's not Suarez. That's for sure. After them, Denny Hamlin 33, Kyle Busch 33, Ryan Blaney 33. Hamlin is interesting because of how good he looked in practice. Kyle Busch has been decent on road courses this year. He basically had top 10 speed in both Sonoma and Coda. Ryan Blaney. What's Ryan Blaney done on road courses this year? Historically, he's been pretty average. Fourth fastest at Sonoma, 14th at Coda. What do you think about those guys? Denny, well, we talked about Denny. KB at 33 and Ryan Blaney at 33. I think if I was backing one of those guys, it would probably be KB and not Blaney.
I think I'd back Logano.
At 40?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't ask you that.
His crew chief is very good at strategy. He's going to get some extra lap time being in the Xfinity race. And, I think the pressure's off of him so he can go out and drive now. He knows he's in the playoffs. So, sure, that's a big relief for him. I would just take Logano. I'm not going to bet any three of them in any fashion.
After Logano, Alex Bowman 40-1, Cindric 60, Todd Gilliland 75, Briscoe 100, Haley 100. Man, not for nothing, but Todd Gilliland, he's been cashing tickets lately, man. If you've been like backing him to top 10 or top 5, he's been cashing tickets. What did I say to you? I last week we were talking about the top 5 market, and I was like, Coop, he's 16 or 18-1 the top 5. And I was like, he's just been consistently there. And I don't know where he ended up finishing, but he was up there before all that chaos went down with people running out of gas. I think if he didn't have a solid finish, I think he was going to have a solid finish before all that madness went down with Cindric. But yeah, Todd G's been pretty good this year, man. What do you think about Bowman at 40?
No interest.
Cindric?
Nope.
Briscoe or Haley?
The one thing, when Chase Briscoe came into the Cup scene, all the talk with him was, watch him on the road courses. Real good road course driver. So put this in your bank for next year. He's going to be in much better equipment in 19. So we need to watch his lines early, see if they hang a rogue line where, maybe we can get him at 30 or 40 in a really good car because of his results.
Well, I mean, it's a flat surface. He tends to excel on flat tracks.
Yeah.
Brad Keselowski 100-1 this week, Coop. Yeah, what happened to our guy? 100
He's not very good on the road courses, man.
I know. Yeah. It's been tough. Hocevar, Eric Jones, Zane, LaJoy, Noah, Bubba. Anybody worth talking about back here?
Negative.
Anybody that you would... How about this? Of the guys that are 100-1 or higher, right?
Okay.
Are there any that you think could realistically hit the top 10?
I mean, what kind of race are we having?
Mild to moderate fuckery.
If I were to put my money on somebody to hit the top 10 who's 101 or longer,
right,
it would be on Joey Hand.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll accept that answer. All right, boys. So from the outright market, I think Coop and I basically agree that we would give SVG, Reddick, Larson, and Bell the edge ever so slightly over the rest of the field. A third of the field could win the race for sure. But I think those four guys are probably better than the rest, or at least have the best chance to be better than the rest. And I think Coop would agree. It's tough to bet all four because if you do that, you're basically going to make a unit profit. So, I mean, that's hard to do, man. It's just the reality of this sport in 2024. So you're going to either have to pick one or two, bet them going into the race, and then just try to live bet the market, or you try to get the number up on the guys you like. I mean, those are your two options right now. Anything to add, Coop?
Not really. I think it's tough to bet these guys straight this week, any week. And I think if I had to rank them, I would put Reddick, SVG, Bell, Larson, those four.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would rank them, but those would be my four too. All right, reminder, tomorrow we'll be live for Patreon members, but Sunday we'll be live on NUKE YouTube for the NASCAR Cup Series race. You guys come hang out with us if you want to. And tomorrow we'll be live for Patreon members for the Xfinity race. And then we will probably stay on for a while because we have an LFA card that I'll probably bet.
LFA?
LFA, yeah, it's MMA. It's MMA that's basically a lower level than Bellator and PFL. It's like
it's got to be like the lowest level of lowest levels because
no, you're not even an MMA fan. So of course you have never heard LFA. I would say LFA is probably the sixth biggest MMA promotion. I don't know.
So if you're comparing it to NASCAR, all right, yeah, it's below ARCA, and it's like the Friday night or Saturday night local track fight.
I would say it's UFC, PFL, Bellator, one championship. After that, I would say it's Cage Warriors. And then after Cage Warriors, I think you can make an argument that LFA or Octagon.
It's basically Friday night and Saturday night racing at your local track.
Yeah, it's like the Chili Bowl. Yeah, it's like the Chili Bowl. It's like racing at the Chili Bowl. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But Shakur Stevenson fights boxing tomorrow night, and then Masvidal and Nate Diaz have the boxing match tomorrow night. So we're going to try to stay on and hang out.
Guys running go-karts in the AutoZone parking lot.
Yo, don't shut up, Yig. Just shut up. Just shut up. All right, man.
And let me guess, at Cage Warriors, they're running it in the Advanced Auto parking lot.
Listen, I'm not going to take this slander. All right. All right. The rent's got to get paid. You know what I mean? It's not going to get paid by just looking at sports. So, yeah. So we'll be live tomorrow for Patreon. Sunday we'll be live for the public. Come hang out with us. And that's it. We're going to switch over right now to Patreon and break down every betting market for this weekend's race. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Patreon members, we'll see you in a little bit. Later.